Anytime you post anything on the internet, especially on a platform like YouTube or a podcast or whatever, you are going to attract trolls, you're going to attract haters. And as we all know, the number one rule of the internet, don't feed the trolls. In today's video, against my better judgment perhaps, I'm going to feed the trolls, so to speak, and I'm going to respond to a criticism that I find particularly galling and a criticism that I find particularly dangerous for anyone struggling with retroactive jealousy. Simply put, if you're a retroactive jealousy sufferer, I think you're going to want to watch today's video. My name is Zachary Stockill, and since 2013, I've been helping men and women from all over the world overcome retroactive jealousy and save their relationships. If you'd like more information about my work or you'd like to work with me one-on-one, please visit my website at retroactivejealousy.com. And if you're here for the first time, the term retroactive jealousy refers to unwanted intrusive thoughts, often obsessive curiosity, and what I like to call mental movies about your partner's past relationships and or sexual history. To be a retroactive jealousy sufferer, in my book, you can suffer from one of those symptoms, you can suffer from all three of those symptoms. And when you write about retroactive jealousy, when you post about retroactive jealousy, one comment that you receive on occasion is some variation of this. Basically, the commenter says, retroactive jealousy isn't really a thing. This is nonsense. This just means you're in the wrong relationships. Or this just means that your girlfriend is a insert pejorative here. Or this just means that your boyfriend or husband, it's not the right relationship. Retroactive jealousy isn't really a thing. This is all nonsense. It just means you should break up and move on. Now, as I say endlessly, sometimes breaking up is 100% the right choice. Sometimes, if you do enough introspection and you do enough exploration and you really think about this hard, and you consult with friends and family and you do a lot of soul searching and you realize that your partner doesn't share your values, guess what? It's probably time to move on. However, all these people who say retroactive jealousy isn't a thing, number one, I would wager that the overwhelming majority of people who say this have never struggled with retroactive jealousy. They don't know what it's like to go to bed with your partner's past on your mind, to wake up with your partner's past on your mind, to be tortured by thinking about it, multiple times a day, et cetera, et cetera. They don't know about the mental movies. They don't know about the curiosity, the compulsive need to know, the questioning. Whatever you're dealing with, these people are not retroactive jealousy sufferers. So I think we should take their thoughts on retroactive jealousy with a grain of salt. At the same time, it's been almost exclusively men who have made this comment over the years on my YouTube channel and other places. Retroactive jealousy isn't really a thing. Basically, this is just, I think a lot of guys who have issues with women or who are indulging in a lot of the red pill stuff, extreme views about men and women. And a lot of these guys say, well, retroactive jealousy isn't really a thing. You should break up and find someone new. They don't realize that I have worked with people, no joke, retroactive jealousy sufferers, who can't get past the fact that their partner once had a crush on someone else. There was nothing sexual that happened. They don't love the thought of their partner even glancing at someone else, and they're obsessed with that thought, okay? Retroactive jealousy is definitely not always about sex, which is one of the biggest counter arguments to people who say that it's not really a thing. Retroactive jealousy can impact men, women, trans people. I've had many straight clients. I've had many gay clients. I've had a couple of bisexual clients, young, old, everything in between. Visitors to my website from every country on the planet. That's no joke. I've actually checked. Visitors from every country and territory on the planet have visited my website at retroactivejealousy.com. And the people who make this comment, retroactive jealousy isn't a thing, are you going to tell that to people from over 190 countries who visited my website from every single different background and race and ethnic group and religion and spirituality you can imagine, right? All of this is kind of a long-winded way of saying, of course, retroactive jealousy is a thing. It's not something that only impacts men. It's not something that only impacts men whose girlfriends have a decent amount of experience, sexual experience. It's not something that only impacts straight men. I've had many gay male clients and people in my courses in the past. All of this is to say that this comment is ridiculous. I can promise you retroactive jealousy is a thing. And if you don't want to take my word for it, Google around a little bit more. Look on YouTube. Look at people, other channels, other voices on this topic. And you'll find endless evidence that yes, retroactive jealousy is a real thing. This isn't just some made up fantasy by people like me or just it's only guys who have problems with women who deal with this issue. That isn't true at all. A related comment that some of these trolls make that I think is actually really dangerous to retroactive jealousy sufferers. And I should be clear, I've been posting about this issue for over 10 years now. I've heard it all. People calling me names, people saying all kinds of mean things. And I don't know, I guess I'm quite lucky because for me, it's very easy to brush it off. It doesn't really bother me. But every once in a while I'll read a comment and I won't think about myself, but I'll think about some other retroactive jealousy sufferer reading that comment. And that's what is inspiring this video today, basically. So another variation of this comment is, if you struggle with retroactive jealousy, that means you should always break up with your partner because it means you're in the wrong relationship. People post comments like this on a regular basis. Well, if you're struggling with this issue, if it's bothering you that much, you should just break up, you should move on, you should find someone whose past doesn't bother you, right? And every time I read a comment like that, I think about the dozens and dozens, over 100 at this point, of, for example, husbands who I've worked with, who have an absolutely incredible wife who has been loyal, who has been loving. They adore their wives. They're supportive, loving presences in their lives. She's a great mom. She's built a great house for me. And I think, would I tell that guy that he's in the wrong relationship just because he's struggling with retroactive jealousy? He has a fantastic marriage. His kids love him and he loves his kids and they have a good home life going and she's been loyal and she's never strayed and all these things. Are you going to tell that guy that he should break up, that he's in the wrong relationship because he's struggling with retroactive jealousy? Of course you aren't. Of course you aren't, because it doesn't make sense. And that brings me to my final point in this video. Retroactive jealousy is quite often what I would call irrational. In other words, quite often retroactive jealousy is not based on a genuine conflict in values between you and your partner. Retroactive jealousy is not always an indication that you and your partner don't share the same values. Just because you maybe can't stop thinking about your partner's past does not necessarily mean that your partner's past is a deal breaker. So beware when you're taking advice from non-retroactive jealousy sufferers who don't know anything about this issue. It can really be quite damaging. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you benefited from this video, please take a moment to let me know by clicking the like button below. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. And while you're at it, be sure you are subscribed to my channel to be notified of new videos moving forward. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.